All right, so today we're going to crack open a philosophy that's over 2,000 years old, but you won't believe how perfectly it was designed for the chaos of right now. We're not just going to talk about Stoicism, we're going to give you the Stoic toolkit. Think of it as a practical operating system for your mind, built for resilience. Let's dive in.
I mean, let's be real for a second. Who doesn't? You know that feeling. It's the constant flood from the news, it's stressing about money, it's even that one person who just has to cut you off in traffic. It feels like you're getting hit from all sides, and it can leave you feeling completely overwhelmed and anxious.
Well, what if I told you the key to dealing with all that modern craziness was figured out thousands of years ago in ancient Greece? And get this, the philosophy gets its name, Stoicism, from the Greek word stoa, which just means a painted porch. That's literally where these guys would hang out and figure this stuff out. And it offers some incredibly powerful solutions.
Okay, first things first, we've got to bust a huge myth. When you hear the word stoic, you probably picture someone kind of like a robot, right? Just a stiff upper lip, totally emotionless. But that is not it. Not even close. The Stoics were clear. Emotions are totally natural. The secret for them wasn't just suppress your feelings, but to understand the judgment that causes them in the first place.
You know, even Shakespeare was a huge fan of Stoic ideas, and he absolutely nailed the core concept with this line. It's not the thing that happens to you that makes you suffer. It's not the traffic jam or the mean comment. It's your judgment about it. It's the story you tell yourself that has all the power.
So if it's all about our judgments, how do we actually get a handle on them? Well, it all starts with the absolute bedrock of Stoicism, the number one, most fundamental tool in the entire toolkit. It's called the dichotomy of control. It's all about clearly separating what you can control from what you can't.
And just look at this. It makes it so clear. On one side, you have all the stuff that's completely out of your hands. The past, you can't change it. The economy, good luck with that. What other people think of you, forget it. The Stoics said that spending energy here is a guaranteed recipe for misery. But that other side, that's your kingdom. That is your domain. Your judgments, your actions, the nobility of your character. That's 100% yours. That's where all your power is.
So the whole point of focusing on what you control isn't about changing the world out there. Nope. It's about building something inside you. The Stoics called it an inner citadel, a fortress in your mind that can withstand any storm the world throws at you. And there's this incredible story that brings this idea to life perfectly.
So I want you to picture this. It's 1964, and a traveler is driving through the Deep South. For miles and miles, all they see are these identical, rundown sharecroppers' shacks. The external situation is bleak. It's a picture of some real serious hardship. But then, every once in a while, something catches the traveler's eye. A shack that's different. Now, structurally, it's the exact same flimsy building as all the others. But someone took the time to paint it with cheap whitewash. They dyed old flour sacks to make colorful curtains. The dirt yard was raked clean, with flowers planted by the door and a little garden out back. And that is the entire lesson in a nutshell. The circumstances, the shack, the poverty, that was outside their control. But the response to it, their character, their choice to create a little bit of order and beauty in the middle of all that, that was completely 100% within their power. This is the promise of Stoicism. You have the ability to build a noble life, no matter what materials you've been given.
Okay, so that covers the why of Stoicism. Now let's get to the good stuff, the how. We're going to go through 3 super practical exercises right from the Stoic toolkit that you can literally start using today.
Tool number 1. Now this one's going to sound a little dark at first, but trust me, it's incredibly powerful. It's called negative visualization. The idea is to just take a brief moment to imagine losing something you really cherish, your health, your job, someone you love. Now, the point isn't to make yourself miserable. It's actually the opposite. It's to flood your system with a profound sense of gratitude for what you have, right here, right now. It's a way to appreciate things before they're gone.
All right, tool number 2 is a simple practice you can do every evening, and it comes to us straight from the Roman Stoic Seneca. You can think of it as a kind of strategic review of your day. And here's how easy it is. At the end of the day, you find a quiet moment and you just kind of hit replay on the last 24 hours. You give yourself credit where you acted the way you wanted to, and then, and this is super important, no beating yourself up, you just gently notice where you fell a little short. Maybe you lost your temper or procrastinated. The goal isn't self-criticism, it's just awareness, followed by a simple, quiet resolve to be just a tiny bit better tomorrow.
And for our third and final tool, we're circling back to that huge idea of control. This one helps you break down any problem you're facing into 3 clear categories.
So next time you're facing a challenge, run it through this simple filter. Ask yourself, is this something I have zero control over, like the weather? If so, your job is to accept it. Then ask, is this something I have some control over, like my health or a project at work? If so, your job is to influence it. Or, finally, is this something I have complete control over? And that is always your will, your judgments, your choices. That's what you need to master. Using this filter just brings instant clarity.
Now, you might be listening to all this talk about inner citadels and my choices and think, wow, this sounds kind of self-focused. And you're not wrong. It absolutely starts with the self. But here's where we find this beautiful, incredible paradox at the heart of Stoicism. All of that intense inner work ultimately leads you to a deeper connection with everyone else.
The Stoics had a fancy word for it, oikeiosis, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It all starts with our most basic, natural drive, self-preservation. You know, a baby only cares about itself. That's totally natural and necessary. It's square one. But as we grow up, as our ability to reason develops, that little circle of care naturally starts to expand. We start to identify with our family, and their well-being becomes part of our well-being. Then it expands to our friends and our community.
And for the true Stoic, that circle just keeps on expanding until it includes every single human being on the planet. You start to really get it, that we are all part of one big team. You move from being just focused on yourself to seeing yourself as a citizen of the entire world.
Marcus Aurelius, who was literally the Roman emperor, the most powerful man in the world, put it perfectly. He reminds us that we are designed to work together. For us to act against one another is as unnatural and as senseless as your left hand trying to fight your right hand.
And in the end, that's what the Stoics leave us with. It's this incredibly empowering and challenging idea. Your circumstances, whatever they are, they're just the raw material. The one thing that is truly, completely, and unbreakably yours is the quality of your character. So the only question left is, what will you build with it?